No, I'm about to go in. Told me that I couldn't do it, but I gotta bring it back. So they're really numb with it. Let's go. Tell me where you're from, where you stay. Now I keep it lit from the coast to the bay. Peace on the right.
If you guys are looking to get cheap and instant Madden 18 coins, be sure to head over to muckcoinbank.com and use promo code Maze at checkout for 10% off. What is going on, you guys? Mazomatic here with yet another tip video. A couple weeks ago, I think it was a week and a half ago, I released a really good money play out of a formation that you see me run all the time in every gameplay I post, in every game I play. I run 90% of my plays out of this formation. It is the scheme that is the bread and butter to my offense. And I promised a scheme out of that formation and I haven't posted it yet. So that's what this video is right now. It is the scheme that I run all the time in my videos. You probably see it, really effective. You guys have probably seen it in the Madden Challenge and other Madden professional tournaments. Guys like AKG, guys like Joel, guys like Prodigy, they all run this formation a lot. And single back wide trips is the formation I'm talking about, as you see on the screen here. You probably already knew that if you're on my channel. I run all my plays out of this formation. It's in a ton of playbooks. The one I run it out of is Rams. And I'm gonna tell you guys why. Rams also has single back deuce close. And if you guys live under a rock, you might not know this, but this year, deuce close is probably the most popular Madden formation. It's very overpowered. Plays like halfback wham, halfback stretch, tight end angle, bench, PA misdirection. There's a whole host of plays out of single back deuce close that are super effective. I already actually posted a deuce close scheme on the channel, but the Rams playbook has single back wide trips, which is the 10th formation out of single back, and then they also have deuce close, which is the 5th formation out of single back. But the one I'm going over today, wide trips, it's my favorite formation right now, and I'm gonna show you guys why it's so effective and how I use it most effective, and basically what you can do to get the most out of this formation. So going into the actual formation, you're gonna see all the plays here. There's not a whole ton of plays, but there's a handful that I like to use. So to start, I'm gonna be talking about the audibles I make, like to replace my audibles on here. So the audibles you're given are stick, inside zone, 4 verticals, and PA zone shot. The only one I'm gonna keep on here is PA zone shot. So to start, I like to take stick, the square audible. I'm gonna replace that and replace it with stretch. So I'm gonna replace that with halfback stretch. That is my favorite run play out of this formation. Then I'm gonna take inside zone and I'm gonna replace that with jet 6 soar. Jet 6 soar is a really effective pass play because of that in route on the left side. It's a really deep in route, so it's kind of tough to use her, and it's really good beating man coverage and other kinds of coverage. So jet 6 soar is a good play to throw in there. And then my last one for 4 verticals, I'm gonna replace that with wide receiver post at the bottom there, mainly because I really like that C route on the left side. The C route beats a lot of coverages, and so that's gonna be a really good play to have in there. So these are the main plays I put in my audibles, and then every time what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come out in halfback dive. So I'm gonna come out in halfback dive, and basically the reason is I'm gonna show you guys what I'm gonna do here is I come out in halfback dive. So if I wanna run halfback dive, I can. If I wanna switch to stretch, I can. I just audible there to stretch. And so you have the 2 run play options there from the get-go. Those are the only 2 run plays I use out of this formation, but I run them a lot. So you're just gonna audible between halfback dive and halfback stretch, depending on the look they give you. And then that's why I come out in halfback dive every time, because then all these other plays I want, I can always just audible to them and then run them at my leisure. Now, obviously, I'm gonna be going over all the plays that I said in my audibles, whether it's halfback dive, jet 6 soar. I'm gonna be going over all those in a little bit, but I'm also gonna be going over 2 other plays. One of them being Salem at the top right there, and then the last one is going to be, where is it? Double China. Double China I really like because that post route on the left, and then Salem I really like because it's like not really a C route on that left receiver. It's more like, it's like a flat C route. So it really stays away from the deep zones. It's really tough to cover with a hard flat. You need a cloud flat to cover that. But actually that's what I'm going to start with, is Salem. I don't run this very often, but it is a good play. I'm going to show you guys against a random formation. I'm just gonna go random defense. And so I actually forgot to mention this, but the reason this formation is so effective, and I'm gonna show you guys right now why, is it is 3 receivers to the right and only 1 receiver to the left, and it's single back, so the running back is behind you. Now, if you know how cloud flats work in this game, I'm gonna audible on defense to cloud flats. Everyone loves to play cloud flats, and cloud flats, as you see, the corners on the outside are in cloud flats. Cloud flats are a really interesting type of flat. If there is a threat in the corner, they're gonna play the corner first and then work their way down to the flat. That's how cloud flat works. However, if there are 4 eligible receivers to the right of your quarterback and only 1 eligible receiver to the left of your quarterback, it is going to audible to man-to-man coverage automatically. Now, I know that sounds pretty complicated. So basically, there are certain plays in this formation, and I'm not sure exactly why, where it will consider the running back to be an eligible receiver on the right. One of them being jet 6 soar, and one of them being wide receiver post. So as you see, I'm going to call jet 6 soar, and I'm going to block my running back. I'm just going to show you guys the example of what I'm talking about. I'm going to audible to a cover 2, and you see I have cloud flats out there on the right and the left. So a lot of people like to run Tampa 2 this year. They automatically come out in cloud flats. A lot of times they don't even think about it. But if you know this little glitch, you know that the cloud flat on the left on Cooper is going to completely run across the field with him on that in route. And I'm going to show you guys that right now. See that? I'm not even going to throw it, but I'm going to go in the replay and show you guys what I'm talking about. It was a cloud flat in a cover 2, but when I go into the replay and show you with the corner how he played it, because it was this certain play out of this formation, it considered Marshawn Lynch to be an ineligible receiver to the right of my quarterback. So there's only one single receiver alone on this side, meaning this cloud flat is now man coverage. And I don't know why it works that way in the game. I know a lot of it has to do with the real zone rules in the NFL and real zones, but it just automatically glitches to man coverage, and you're going to watch. He left his cloud flat, didn't even worry about it, and now is trying to man up on Cooper. And then that's going to leave a lot of stuff open over here and on this right side of the field. So if you know how to manipulate that, it can be really effective. Again, like I said, the 2 plays where I know it does it, jet 6 soar, if you block your running back, it will automatically do man coverage on a cloud flat. And then the other one is wide receiver post. You don't even need to do anything. It will automatically do man coverage in a cloud flat, and you can hit that C route and stuff like that. And the last one, PA zone shot, it also does it. If you leave the play action, it will automatically do man coverage in a cloud flat again. So if you know that out of this formation, and you know how to manipulate that in game, if your opponent's running a Tampa 2 or something like that, and you know you switch to wide receiver post, you know you can hit that C route on the left side, that is a huge advantage you have over your opponent. And so that's just something, if you know how to use it, is going to make your offense that much better. So this is Salem base with no adjustments, and you see it's a pretty good play as is. You don't really need to do too much. You got a deep in route from Crabtree on the right side. You got that interesting route by Cooper, but these are the adjustments I like to make, and I'm going to show you why when I do the run game later, why I do what I do. So now I'm gonna get into the adjustments that I make on this play. It's pretty simple. All I do is put Roberts R1 on a drag, and then I'm going to motion him over and hike it when he's in the slot. So when he's like motion hike him in the slot right there, and then from there you make a read. A lot of times I like to just check it down to my running back because it's a solid 6 to 8 yards. If you juke, you can get even more than that. A lot of times you can juke a guy out and get a first down. All right, so I'm going against a random defense, so I'm just gonna be honestly running this play a bunch of times and show you guys basically the reads you have. The main ones I like to do is that left side of the field. You have just the check down to the running back if no one's playing in the hard flat or man coverage. You can check it down to him for 6 to 8 yards every time, and it's really easy. And then also if they do play in the hard flat, you're gonna have Cooper on that out route to the sideline. If that is all covered on the left side, if they mabel it or something, then the right side of the field is gonna be wide open. You're gonna have the drag coming across. As you see here, Seth Roberts on the drag. Get to the outside. I got about 15 yards right there. You can really look all over the field. And then the last read I make on this is gonna be Crabtree on that deep in route. Also, if no one is covering Cook, you can hit him quickly up the seam. That's always an interesting look too. But you basically have a lot of reads here. So to start, I always look at that left sideline, and if it's not open, then I check the drag. And then lastly, I'm gonna check the in route coming off the right side. The computer's running a bunch of random blitzes and stuff, so I'm not really like, as you see, the safeties keep coming down blitzing, so it's not the best look really that you're gonna get. But I'm just gonna run it one more time for you guys and just show you the simple reads you can get. There it was man coverage. I read the blitz, and Cooper was on a man beating route. That out route is going to beat man if you throw it at the break, and then he can cut it up and take it. The reads are really simple. Again, the main one I like to look at is that left side of the field. Either they cover Lynch in the flat or they cover Cooper on the out route. You're usually going to have at least one of them open, and if they're both not open, then you're going to have Roberts on the drag route. If they happen to cover that too, then you have Crabtree on the in route. It's really simple reads from this play, and it's really effective. All right, now getting into the next play before we get into the audibles is double China. Now I'm going to go over double China for you guys against a random play. All right, the next play I'm going to be talking about is double China here, you guys. You see Cooper is on that post route on the left side, and I really like that post route. If you can low pass the ball to him across the middle, you can get the ball to him a lot. I always like to block my running back, and then the last thing I like to do is put Roberts on a drag. Now I'm going to go over the reads for you guys on this play. If it's a cover 2 and they don't have somebody playing deep in the middle like a linebacker, you can get Cooper across the middle for a one-play touchdown, big gain on that post route. If it's a cover 3, I always like to do this. I'm motioning Crabtree, take a step, and then hike it. If it's a cover 3, a lot of times you're still gonna have Cooper on a low pass across the middle, because what happens is, I'm gonna go over the replay for you guys. What happens is these drag routes that you called, I put him on a drag route, you see he sucks down these linebackers. First he sucks down him, and then he sucks down him. It leaves a huge gap right here. And if you throw a regular pass, this safety a lot of times with 91 zone is going to intercept it. You cannot throw a regular pass or else he is going to intercept this ball. You throw a low pass though, like I just did, which is L1 and down on the analog stick. You can get it right in that window every single time. Now, a lot of times what's going to happen is they're going to user that post route. And if they do user that post route, you can just throw the drag routes. You can just throw the drag routes, one of the two, either Roberts or Crabtree, whoever comes open first. Now, if it is a blitz or it is man coverage, Cooper does beat man coverage. That post route beats man coverage. Also, Cook, the corner route, does beat man coverage. So you have a lot of options on that play. Again, motion Crabtree in, and then from here, I'm going to show you guys. Now, I'm going to show you what just happened right there. This is what I talked about earlier. It was a cover 2. And you know how I knew that is because it glitched to man coverage. If you look at the replay, this guy was supposed to be in a cloud flat out here. This was supposed to be a cloud flat in a cover 2. However, it glitched to man coverage, and he runs with the post the whole way. Now, obviously, there was no deep middle, but imagine there was a deep middle here. So that wouldn't be open. Now, you took away this man coverage guy, and you took away a deep middle. Now, look at the middle of the field. You got 15, and again, we're hypothetically saying this guy's in a deep blue, so pretend he's back here covering the post route. Look how open Crabtree would be right here. You could catch it, catch it, and turn it up in here and get probably 20 yards on that. So again, with all these plays, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to want to just know your reads and know your coverage that you're going against. A lot of times on blitzes, you're going to have to get rid of the ball fast. This looks like man coverage, so guess where I'm throwing it? The post route. Man coverage, the post route beats it. And of course, Cooper's going to fumble. But that's not going to happen in a real game. But I think that just about takes care of it for that play. I'm going to go choose a new play and show you guys basically the run scheme I do out of this. And again, that consists of the dive play and then the stretch play. So again, like I said, I always like to come out in halfback dive. And I'm going to go against a random defense again on defense. But one thing I want to note is if you're running halfback dive and it's a right-handed quarterback, you want to hand it off to the right. If it's a left-handed quarterback, you're going to want to flip it and hand it off to the left. And that is simply because the handoff goes a lot faster if it's to your quarterback's dominant side. I don't know why they coded it that way. They just did. But basically, you're going to switch between stretch and dive depending on what you like. Both of these are going to be your two staple run plays. And if you're running stretch, I like to ID the mic on the guy on the direction you want to run. So right here, you see I ID'd the mic on that slot corner on Roberts. Get to the outside. Truck a little bit, you get a solid 10-yard gain. A lot of times you can bust an even bigger gain like that. If you have really good blocking receivers, that's nice too. All right, also you guys can run dive if you like. If you like that look, I'm gonna here bounce it to the outside, truck a little bit, Marshawn Lynch, and just look at that. You get glitchy things happening if you run the ball. You're eventually bound to break off a few big runs. Then another thing you can do is you can run stretch to the other side. Now, if I do run to the other side, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ID this guy right here, motion Roberts out, and I'm just gonna run it to the left side. And like I said before, you're going to get a lot of glitchy stuff happening to you if you run the ball. If you truck and have good run stick, you're going to be getting a lot of gains. You can honestly run the ball probably 20 to 30 times if your opponent isn't stopping it well enough. And the cool thing about this dive, it might be obvious if you're running to the right or left based on where you motion. But if you run that Salem play I talked about, you're going to be motioning this guy a lot over anyways. So he's not going to know whether you're running it or running that Salem play. And again, some runs are going to get stuffed, some aren't, but that is the basics on how you run the ball out of this formation. Just switch between halfback dive and halfback stretch. You're going to get a lot of good gains. All right, so now I'm going to get into the audible plays. The audible one I'm going to talk about first is Jet 6 Soar. Now, this play is really awesome, and the reason is because Cook is on a drag route, but the drag route is a little bit different. He gets a little bit of a speed boost when he's rounding that corner. It's a little bit deeper. As you see, it kind of goes up the field more. It actually goes up about 10 yards if you get all the way to the sideline. So the audibles I make on this play is first I block my running back because like I said, I always like to block my running back. And when you block your running back, again, it's going to turn a cloud flat on that left side into man coverage. I don't know why, but it is awesome. And then the last thing I like to do is put Crabtree on a drag. And then I motion him in and hike it when he takes a step. Like I said, that deep in route is really hard to cover. It really is hard to cover. A lot of times users are not going to be looking at it. All right, now I'm going to run jet stick soar for you guys a few more times just to show you the different reads you have. I really like the double drag combo because if a user stays on one of the drags, then a lot of times the other one is going to be open. So you always are going to have one of those two options. And if they have all the guys playing down and playing the drags, then a lot of the time you're going to have that in route open. Now, one thing I will recommend is putting a guy with the playmaker chemistry ability on that far right where Crabtree is. So that way, if you want to playmaker him up the field and no one's open, you can do that. As you see there, I just checked it down really quick. Got a solid gain of 6. That's all you really need. It's going to be like you're going to have a lot of really solid drives out of this. So I'm going to keep running this play. And I just spam the hell out of this play. Now that was man coverage, and I read that, so I threw it to the in route to Cooper. Because again, that route beats man coverage a lot. And that's a solid... Let's see how deep downfield that is. That is a solid 17 yards downfield that he's running that in route. Now this obviously is a blitz. So what I would do here, this is like a goal line blitz. I'm just going to block everyone. And then I don't know why. The computer runs goal line. I'm not really sure why. But I'm going to run it a couple more times for you guys and just show you the reads that I'm making. And then describe why I'm making them. Again, it looks like just a goal line blitz. I don't know why the computer does this. So I'll just run it for you guys a couple more times just to show you the reads. And again, I'll just recommend practicing this and get your reads down as best as possible. Look at that, guys. I want to show you again. That was a DB covering Jared Cook. That was a DB covering Jared Cook in man coverage. And I'm going to show you again what I'm talking about, why he gets such good release, good separation. I don't know why this speed boost happens. They ran a blitz. They blitzed all their linebackers. They had a safety covering Jared Cook. And look at that. Completely burned him. Completely routed him. He got wide open. And because this in route is taking this corner across the field, if I waited even a second longer, he would have been even more open. I still ended up getting like right down to the 1 yard line, but he would have been even more open. But that play, basically the reason it's so good, you have that double drags with the in route, make a good read. All right, so the next play we're going over is wide receiver post. And the reason we're going over this, and I like it a lot, is because that C route on the left side. Now, like I said, you can do a lot in this formation if you know how to audible it into man coverage. But I will say it's very tricky. I am unsure of when it triggers man coverage on a cloud flat and when it doesn't. I don't know the specifics of it. It seems to be really random. But sometimes it will trigger man coverage on a cloud flat. A lot of times if they base a line out of the nickel 3-3-5, if they're running that Tampa 2 out of the nickel 3-3-5, that is going to audible to man coverage a lot just because they base a line and press. So let's base a line and press here. Let's say they're running nickel 3-3-5 and you know that. Then I run this. I'm going to put Crabtree on a drag just like I always do because I like the double drag look. See, that wasn't man coverage. But I still hit the drag. I read it wasn't man coverage. If I would have thrown it, it would have been an interception. So again, I'm just going to actually just call the play against a random defense and make a read. First read is going to be the C route on the left side. And then your second read is going to be that drag route to Jared Cook. I got about 6 yards right there. So again, I'm going to go over the reads right now. First read is going to be Cooper on that left side C route. Your next read is going to be Jared Cook on the drag. If that's not open, you can maybe sometimes hit this deeper dig route from Roberts really quickly if there's a gap in the middle. And then if not, you have Crabtree on the backside drag as well. And what I like to do, like I said, have somebody with the playmaker ability here, and then you can playmaker them straight up the field if you want to. I'll run it one more time for you guys just to show you the reads that you can make. There, I just made a quick 10 yards off of a little drag route check down. And then that on top of running the ball, that on top of having this C route, you can leave it as a post route if you want to hit them over the top and stuff like that. The last play I want to go over is PA zone shot. I already made a whole video on this play, so I'm not actually going to go over too much. But basically, you can get this play to be a one-play touchdown. This is the deep shot out of this formation. A lot of the other stuff is check down routes and stuff like that. And this is actually the one deep play that I like out of this formation. And you can run this a lot. Again, if you have someone on that far right side with a playmaker chemistry ability, you can put them on a baby in route right here. And then if you get the blocking, you can always playmaker them up the field. Now, obviously, Crabtree doesn't have playmaker ability, so his playmaker isn't very effective. But if you do have a guy with playmaker, I would recommend doing that, and it is really, really effective. But that is going to do it. That is about 6 plays out of this formation that I really like. There's a lot of good pass plays, and then the run is so powerful with the stretch and dive combo. You can run stretch to either side. It's awesome, you guys. If you have run stick, it's going to be really effective. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope it helps your offense out and you can use this online and get a lot of wins from it in weekend league and whatever you want to use it for. If you guys liked it, be sure to leave a like down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will be seeing you guys in the next video. Now I'm on the outside.